Surrealism. Surrealism is a group of artists that were based on Freudian psychology and the idea of the unconscious mind. They wished to create work that unlocked the unconscious mind through their works being based on processes that unlock the unconscious and dreams. They are a French group that started off as a literary movement that broke off from the Dada art movement of the time. Sigmund Freud. Sigmund Freud was the developer of psychoanalysis, which is a group of psychological theories and methods that come from Sigmund Freud. It is believed that all people have an unconscious that has hidden or repressed thoughts, feelings, desires, and memories. Freud considered dreams to be a coded expression of unconscious fears, desires, and conflicts that could be deciphered and potentially resolved through analysis. Freud believed that these were a result of childhood and childhood memories. They were usually sexually erotic desire and violence that were at the heart of Freud's theories. Andre Breton was the founder of the movement. He studied medicine and completed basic military training, and in 1915 he was assigned to work in a military hospital in Nantes as a nurse. Upon the investigation of Sigmund Freud's psychotherapeutic practices, it led him to develop a passion for psychiatric art that tapped into the unconscious, which informed his interest in Dada and later Surrealism. When Breton arrived in Paris, he was in his mid-20s and already an established author and an editor of an avant-garde magazine. During his time, Breton hosted many readings and events. Writers at these meetings used games as a way to have fun and investigate their minds when writing surrealist poetry. Games break traditional thought patterns, allowing thoughts to be more random and ideas to flow more freely. In the exquisite corpse game, players take turns writing down words on a piece of paper. After one person writes a set of words based on the rules, the individual folds the piece of paper to conceal the writing and passes it to the next person. The leader of the Surrealist movement, Andre Breton, developed the game with his friends, in which they wrote, "The exquisite corpse will drink the young wine." When Surrealist poets use automatism or automatic writing, they write without controlling their conscious thoughts. In essence, they write whatever comes to mind. Breton stated that poets should not filter, edit, or shape automatic writing because the words should be vivid and raw. Andre Breton explicitly rejected attempts to read Surrealist art as revealing the individual artist's psychological history. Also, unlike Freud and his fellow psychoanalysts, the Surrealists had no interest in the therapeutic potential of Freud's theories. They were interested in the unconscious as a creative source, not in the possibility of healing neurosis through psychoanalytic therapy. Andre Masson. In this work you see here, Armor, from 1925, and Oil on Canvas, he has the repetition of erotic imagery and themes of violence that appeared in many works that were considered manifestations of what Ernst described as obsessions. In dismembered and fragmented female nudes, nice fish, birds, and cut pomegranates that populate Masson's early surrealist works, similarly suggests the artist's unconscious preoccupations. Automated drawings. Automated drawings were done by the artist doodling without thinking, after which the artist would analyze their drawings to understand what their unconscious was telling them. Afterwards, they would edit the art as they saw fit. In this work, we see a vaguely human form in the works, and we also see a lot of fingers and toes, and sometimes other body parts being shown. Automatism is the involuntary actions and processes not under the control of the conscious mind. For example, dreaming, breathing, or a nervous tic. Salvador Dali. Salvador Dali is the most iconic member of the group. He was also excommunicated from the group by Breton. He would work for not just creating art, but also for money, and he would do almost anything for this. And the work on the right is probably a work that you recognize. The persistence of memory. The persistence of memory has a group of strange objects and a scene from his childhood. Here we see clocks that seem to be melting, and we also see a sort of self-portrait of Salvador Dali. On the floor, we see a piece of skin with eyelashes that seem to be a piece of Salvador Dali. Here is another work by Salvador Dali called The Great Masturbator. Here we see symbols of female and male, along with automatism in the shapes and forms, as well as the coming electronic age. Max Ernst. Max Ernst was viewed as the surrealist of the surrealist. In this work, we see these bird-like men who are committing violent acts. It was a Freud theory that in the unconscious, you had repressed violent feelings, and here it shows these violent feelings coming out through these violent acts seen here. For this work, The Horde from 1927, he came up with a new mode of art. He created pencil rubbings of random objects. He interpreted what they should mean and looked at what his unconscious was telling him, and he created these monstrous figures that you see here. So, in conclusion, the surrealists wanted to unlock the conscious mind through different processes where they do not think about what they are doing until they step back and review it. Then they interpret what they had done for a work of art. The process is mainly what their works are about.